You get what's called a suppressive persons declare. They actually issued one to a guy out here accusing him of all sorts of weird stuff, but John Boucher, they had this guy convinced he was suppressing plants and trees. He had evil tendencies towards vegetation, and he killed himself. I mean, that's how badly they messed this guy up.
For me, I started because I don't like the malicious litigation to try to threaten critics, and as a result, I had one of these guys come out here and punch me.
They did. They actually punched her.
And I filed a police report. And they stalked me to the point where they found where my family lives in upstate New York, who's been completely unrelated to this, and started sending them threatening letters too. So like I have experienced a small fraction of what people who are trying to get out have experienced.
And a lot of their heavyweights have been leaving, like David, Marty Rathbun, Mike Render. These were like the guys, they're like the lieutenants to the leader. They've all been leaving over the last couple of years, and they're talking about how he beats up staff members, and there's this culture of violence. It's not a healthy group.
So what's this event tonight, you know?
This is the CCHR. They have this thing called the Citizens Committee for Human Rights, where they're promoting anti-psychiatry stuff. It's like how they believe psychiatry is responsible for the Holocaust and World War II. They even have a museum. You can see their virtual museum online with like dead babies in concentration camps. They talk about how psychiatrists are responsible. That's not our propaganda, that's theirs. It's just really creepy stuff. But anyway,
this is actually their open house.
give you one of these. These have some websites you can look at. So.
But I mean, they have an open house every weekend to try to get new people in.
I mean, if you're interested, I'll tell you, look at both sides. I'm not going to try to shove my beliefs down your throat.
I mean, if you form a religion based off of a poorly published and poorly successful science fiction novel.
But if you pay them lots of money, then you find out about the aliens.
My main question is, how do we get Tom Cruise to be so crazy that he commits suicide because of Scientology?
I got to tell you, I'm not so sure he's that far from it. I mean, they're feeling a lot of heat right now, and there is a debate going on. I don't think every Scientologist is going to drink Kool-Aid, but some of the people close to the top, I think if shit starts falling all apart on them, I'm wondering. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that if the leaders of an organization started feeling that threatened, that they start doing whacked out stuff. And I mean, I don't wish that on anybody, but there is a real concern that that could eventually happen.
Well, I mean, we've had experience just, you know, this is what we just stand here and we usually have a little boombox and we dance. And, you know, we could be anywhere from like one person to like 15.
I walk by here every morning on my way to work, and it seems like there's usually at least one person out here.
But I mean, I'm not the only one. There's been a couple of attacks on people. There's been people who've been assaulted, had things taken from them, broken cameras. I mean,
They do have a dangerous side. I mean, 90% of the time they're not violent. 90% of the time they'll just stare at you like you don't exist. But
I mean, I get threats sometimes to make me do it. I don't like that part. But,
yeah.
I mean, that's why we always have cameras to kind of record.
Yeah, we report everything we do.
So that
is this open to the public?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
If you wanted to walk in there and ask them their side, they'll give you a burger.
Like I'm seeing people in here that are just
well,
like, oh, there's
80%.
Like, hey, hamburger, awesome.
Yeah.
80% of these people are members.
You're all very welcome to come and meet some Scientologists and talk to us like that. Chat with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, almost everybody here is a staff member. There's very few like people like yourselves. They're either members.
Like I'm seeing this guy back here who's dancing by himself. Like
I don't know.
Is he a Scientologist or is he just here for the?
He's a Scientologist.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, and if you can get some free food off of it, then always.
I hear they are good burgers.
They've even given us fruit sometimes. Nice.
Hey, you all have a great day. Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you one of these cards.
What is the benefit actually of this?
Huh? They have a benefit. They don't believe in psychiatric medicine. They believe psychiatrists are evil and that they start wars and things. And it starts with learning how psychiatric drugs are bad for you, like Prozac, Thorazine. But unfortunately, they've polled.
Pharmaceutical company working with them?
No, just the opposite. They believe their leader, their founder, like in the 1950s said, to treat psychiatric problems, you have to take vitamins and sit in a hot spa. That treats psychiatric problems. They believe like psychiatrists and psychology are bad people, which is really crazy because, I mean, there's been huge advancements in psychiatric medicine.
It's a kind of spiritual, a different state, right? They believe in some faith.
Well, they believe in money. There's a lot of money
Anyways,
involved.
money actually.
Yeah, big amount of money involved. I don't know how I would call them spiritual because
The secret society here, or
who?
maybe the government knows about this.
Yes, they do. In fact, in the 1970s, they had 11 members go to federal prison because they infiltrated the Internal Revenue Service and were spying on Internal Revenue Service people trying to get a tax status. And they went to prison. But in recent years, the federal government has really not been in conflict with them, which is really disheartening because when you see people like this and you see people like that, you hope your government steps up and investigates more and does more, but they really have been slacking on it. So you want to read up on it and learn, and I would tell you what I tell everybody: listen to both sides and make up your own mind. But these people, they won't do the same thing. They'll say they we're a hate group. They say that we're terrorists and stuff, and it's just like, I don't terrorize anybody.
Is that a big organization?
Scientology?
I mean, how many countries they have?
Well, they'll tell you they have 8 million members. They don't. They're lying. Most of the people who leave, because they've had a lot of people leave, will say maybe worldwide 35, 40,000 across the world. In this country, maybe 20, 25,000. So somewhere right in that range. Nobody really knows for sure because these.
Just the money, you know that.
Huh?
Just they make money. I know that.
They make money selling Dianetics books, but also the celebrities give them a lot of money. The woman who does the woman who does Bart Simpson's voice, she gave them like $10 million last year. Yeah. I would like to think that that money could go to children or someone who needs it, So, absolutely unfortunate.
Next time when I pass by, I'm going to see you.
All right, man. You have a good day. All right. I would call that a win. Would you call that a win? Yeah, they were nice.
The greatest joy there is creating.
I actually worship the devil. I worship the devil.
That was like, or is it? It's this one, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is either. We are the IAS.
I love his dancing. It makes me really happy.
Scientology member, reading whyweprotest.net, and Scientology staff are coming over to handle that, to discuss why he's reading it, and to route him back in, because you can't have the in theta, right? No in theta allowed. And I was right. He just ran that guy out of there. Now he's back over with Sue. He had to run the guy off, and then he came right back over to Sue. His whole purpose of being there is to run his members off. Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony is across the street scrubbing in theta off the sidewalk. Unreal, unreal. Rubber telescope talking to a Scientology public member. Very interesting.